Dish.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. Happy Wednesday, midweek. It's August 28th, 2024. This is program number 1237 of the Lunchroom, and I'm your host, Alex George Jr. Now, in addition to 101.1 FM radio, you can also get us at our website. It's rcistlucia.com. And don't forget, you can download our previous shows there if you so choose. It's in podcast form. And you can also get us live on Facebook. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. And please be sure to like and share that as well with your friends and family. And if you do want to call in to tell us what's on your plate today at this lunchtime, it is 452-3046. That's our direct line, 452-3046. You can also get us via WhatsApp, and that is on 724-0008. You can message in as well as call in on WhatsApp. And again, that is 724-0008. Now, in just a bit for our dish of the day, we're going to be speaking to a representative of the St. Lucia Electricity Services Company Limited, Lucelec, as they prepare to open their brand new office in Sans Souci to serve the Castries area. And we're going to be speaking with Carmi Joseph of Lucelec in just a bit for our dish of the day. But first, a bit of history for today. Well, back in the year 1830, the first American-built locomotive, it was called the Tom Thumb, and it was engaged in a race against a horse-drawn car, and that happened from Stockton to Stokes, and from Baltimore to Ellicott Mills. And in fact, the history of that is that the horse won that battle against the locomotive back in 1830. And in 1845, the Scientific America magazine was published, its first issue ever. And 1963, on this day, the very famous Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. And that was a civil rights march at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. We now head across to our dish of the day. The daily dish is brought to you the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A plus. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasway and vanity. Box, doors, you'll see. Come down to my nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Brazil, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to the Lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And of course, it's been long awaited. It is Lucelec's new office not downtown, but in the city area generally in Sans Souci, and 2 minutes away from where you are, right on the John Compton Highway. And welcome, Carmi Joseph, to tell us all about this new office space.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex. Good afternoon to your listeners and Team RCI. Yes, the office is open. We officially opened it yesterday. It has been a long time coming. We want to first apologize to our customers for the inconvenience. We know that they suffered while we had no office in Castries, because having an office in the city center is something that we've had. Lusec is currently celebrating 60 years of existence. So we've been in town for quite a while, and not being able to access it has been a huge inconvenience to our customers. And we are very grateful for their patience and understanding while we got that sorted out. The reason why it took so long, because you know that we had the air quality issues in our original location in Sans Souci. And what we did was, for this new location, we wanted to really ensure that those issues did not manifest in this new location. So we actually took the time out to upgrade the air conditioning and the ventilation system in the new unit. The unit is It is in the Carolec building. It is
So
important to
break it
say
down,
that.
because I think that the
Yes.
location, not everybody may know precisely
and
where this new
and it's
location
strange
is.
because it actually separates you in age, because some people know because you say, oh, where the original flow complex was. Some people know because it
Well, they
was
won't even know there's floor. There was actually cable and wireless at
Cable
that
and
point.
Wireless and then
Hmm.
Flow, and actually they still have a location there.
Yes.
But the NERC is located there as well, and we
Well,
are
so a lot of people won't even know where the
yeah,
NERC
they
is
don't know
either.
NERC is
So
there
so I think
exactly.
your points
So
of
what we need to
reference.
do is we are going to start from Serenity Park,
Okay.
and you're going to walk.
So you're coming in the
You
main
coming right,
road,
stopping
coming from
at the
the
bus stop, coming in
John
from the
Compton
main.
Highway.
Yes, walking to Serenity Park. You go past Carmen Rennie
Okay. The
High
Common
Senior
Rainy
School.
Memorial School,
Then you
which
go
will be on your
past,
left.
and we're not even going to the CSA Center. Let's say let's go past RCI, because people assume this building is known more for RCI than the CSA Center now.
Oh, really?
So you go past RCI
Mhm.
on the same road, the
Right.
same side as RCI. There's the building.
Okay. So it's after RCI,
After
after the
RCI,
CSA
there's a little
building,
bridge, and there it is
and there you have it on the same side.
on the same side. And it is a,
Colors?
it
What is
is a,
it?
you can't miss it. The Carolite building is very modern, a very beautiful orange building, and we are downstairs that building. And Lucilec actually, we have messages on the windows. We have mesh window messages. So if you go, you can actually see the Lucilec messages on the windows, which clearly shows you that that's where the Lucilec office is.
So is it fair to say that you cannot miss it?
You cannot miss it.
Okay. Now, Carolec, what's that? Maybe you might want to explain
Yeah,
where you're
Carolec
located.
is the is it well as in where we're located, or what Carolec means?
Well, what is Carolec? You're in this Carolec building, and people might be
Yeah.
wondering, what is Carolec?
Carolec, we actually a member of Carolec. Carolec is a union of electrical utilities across the Caribbean. But we
And
Lucilec
its headquarters here in St. Lucia.
and Lucilec is one of the founding members of Carolec through our first managing director, Mr. Feebles. But we do not own the building. We are a tenant in the Carolec building, so we are on the ground floor of that building. So like I said, it is very difficult to miss it if you walk that. It literally takes about 5 minutes from the Serenity Park Gap. And if you're not quite sure where it is, so for your first visit, I would recommend that you take the Leclerc bus, and they will drop you in front of the building. And that's one of the things that we wanted in terms of finding a new space. We wanted to make it convenient for customers. So some of the amenities that you used to at our original location, we wanted to have that there. So in other words, you can get parking. We wanted to make it easy to get to. And we also wanted a situation where we wanted to have the different be able to access the building. So there are ramps at the building as well. Something else that we had to add while you were waiting to actually open is to add that extra service, because one of the days where you think that having those things are supposed to be a luxury, that's supposed to be a need. We want customers to be able to access our buildings as much as possible.
But you
As-
are on the ground floor of that
on the
building.
ground floor.
Right, okay.
So not only are we on the ground floor, but you also have a ramp that could actually take you into the office itself.
Okay. So, of course, like I said, it's been a little bit delayed, and
Yes.
you finally at this point actually opening this new facility, primarily for your customer service.
Yes,
is
it is a customer service location.
Okay.
The original location in Sans Souci is going to now become our admin block. So you're going to have all the admin staff from finance and accounts, HR, corporate communications. Our managing director and his offices are there as well. It is important to let people know that, because people still think that we are reopening that building. No, that building is still there. There will still be the lights at Christmas time. I can promise you that it will still be lit for Christmas, but it is no longer going to be our customer service location. That location, those services have now been moved to the new location downstairs the Carolina building on Daisy Avenue in Sans Souci.
Okay, so basically you're saying that people can still visit both offices? Is it
No.
safe? No. For customer service purposes,
Customer service, which
only
means
this
every
in the Carolina
single
building.
service that we
in Sans Souci.
provide to our customers is going to they're offered at that location. So in other words, you can do your bill balance. You could do your bill queries. You can apply for a new connection. You could ask to have your name changed on your account or to move your account to a new location. You can request a payment arrangement if your account is in arrears and you're trying to pay it back in a way that will allow you to not lose your service. And we are operating as we normally would for our other two locations in Rodney Bay and Bay4. We are open from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, every weekday from Monday to Friday.
Wonderful. Now, of course, I mean, a lot of people just pay their bills at
Online.
online
And
or
that's Shopee.
Shopee
And
or Shopee.
I actually, I'm grateful you brought the Shopee, because Shopee is important to say this to customers, because we want customers to understand that Lucilec has, we have designed your Shopee payments in a way that if you pay Shopee between our regular operating hours, which is weekdays from 8 to 4, it is going to be added to your account the same day.
Okay.
So before it used to be you had to pay by 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Now it's going to be added to your account the same day. So if you pay Shopee between our regular operating hours, which is weekdays from 8 to 4, it is going to be added to your account the same day. So you have to pay by 2. Now, if you pay from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, it is just like walking into our customer service offices. It is immediately applied to your account that same day. And the extra bonus of using Shopee is that if you make the payment after our operating hours, you can actually take a screenshot of that payment. You can call our trouble call operators and we can get you reconnected if you have lost your service. So either it's after our operating hours or on the weekdays, you can do that and we will do our best to reconnect you as soon as possible.
Now, I know some people are sometimes worried about, especially if they have a disconnection. You explain that very clearly. If I have a disconnection, I've been disconnected,
Yes.
and I want to go pay my bill
Yes.
at Shopee, I can do so, and I will be reconnected within the same day.
Yes, and I think it is we are the victims of our own public relations because back in the day, before we had Shopee and those kinds of conveniences like my account, we would tell customers if you've been disconnected or if you are in danger of being disconnected, come pay your bill to the customer service location to rectify that situation. But those are the days of the past. If you have been disconnected, you can go to Shopee and make a payment between 8 and 4 that day. You'll be reconnected that day. If you make the payment after 4 o'clock, which happens because a lot of people are actually disconnected remotely. So when they come home from work or come home from school, that's when they realize they have no service. So at that point in time, the offices have already closed. So if you go to Shopee and Shopee locations are able to they stay open later than our offices, which close at 4. If you go to Shopee and make that payment, you can call into our trouble call operator service, which is a 24/7 hour operation. If you are in the north of the island, it is 452-2165. You call in, you have a screenshot of the payment, send it to us, and we are able to actually reconnect you. And if you are in the south, you can call 454-6617. And the same applies for if you use our My Account service. It's one of our remote options that we want to encourage customers to use because not only do you have the benefit of monitoring your account at your convenience and paying your account at your convenience, because before COVID, to make a payment using my account, you actually had to use an online bank account. And during COVID, we expanded that service. So you could actually use your debit card or credit
Credit
card
card.
to make that payment. And what happens is every month when your bill is generated, you get an email sent to your inbox, you get the balance, and you click on the link, go into your My Account, pay your bill.
And so that happens same day. There's no issue.
Same day,
It's not
everything.
a no.
And so if you've been disconnected and you're a little worried that the payment might not, because sometimes because of if you pay through an online bank account, sometimes it's when the bank processes the payment to Lucelec, right? So sometimes it's 1 to 3 business days usually, but most of the time is the next day. But just to be sure, you could take a screenshot of that payment as well and just contact any of our customer service locations or our customer service mobile numbers or our credit control mobile numbers. Call the same way, and we'll be able to assist you.
Now, are those customer service numbers? Those are 24 hours, or
No,
is
the
it
customer service numbers operate the same, that they have the
same
same
as?
operating hours as our operating hours.
So it's 8 to 4.
Which is why we have expanded it to include the trouble call service. Because the customer service, and I'm glad you brought that up, because customers believe because the numbers are remote that it means that it's a 24-hour service similar to what we offer trouble call, but it's not. That service is manned by our customer service team. We should actually say good afternoon to our customer service team, led by our customer service manager, Mrs. Jennifer Flood George, her team, Moni Dubizon, Charlene, and Kimani, and all the people at customer service working so hard, Vilna in VA4, and Mrs. Patricia in Rodney Bay. They are working so hard to serve our customers and deliver the excellent level of service that we pride ourselves on delivering.
Now, I need to speak a little bit about my account because I know people have been hearing about it.
My account
How
is
do
so
I get
exciting.
my account?
Yes,
account.
and it is free, fast, easy. Look at Hyper D. Hyper D apparently has a My Account. Look at him shaking his head. He agrees, right? It is an amazing service. You just go to My Account.
So it's an online payment service.
myaccount.lucilake.com. Allow me a chance to brag on our My Account for a second, Callis, if you will. My Account is free, fast, easy for a reason. All you need is your account number or your meter number. Those things are on your bill. If you are not sure how to sign up for My Account, we've actually we did an explainer video. It is on our YouTube channel. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. You can go there. It takes you step by step about how to actually sign up for the service. And the benefits of signing up for My Account is not only can you get your bill balance and pay your bill, but you can also track your usage for a year period, which means that for a 12-month period, you can see why my bill was higher in July when my mother and my sister and my cousin and my grandkids were there, and why it was lower in October when I was the only one in my house and there was nobody actually, using more electricity. And you can use that to better control your usage, right? And you can also track your payments for that same period. And you can compare your usage to your neighbor's usage as well, because we have that available through that service. So you
Is
get,
that so?
yeah, so you get the email notification when your
Mm-hmm.
bill is ready, because the misconception or the myth is that everybody gets billed on the same day. You don't. Your billing cycle is specific to the time you applied, where you located, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So when your bill is generated, whether it's the 7th of the month or the 15th or the 14th, that bill is emailed to your account immediately. That when the email that comes in will tell you your account, this is what is currently due. If you have a res, it will say so. And there's a link to go to your My Account. Just click on the link, it takes you right to My Account on our website, and you get in there, pay your bill, and you're out.
So, for seniors who sometimes may think this is a little bit difficult and they may
Now,
want somebody to walk through it with them, is that
you
available? Can I
may.
call into customer
It
service and
is a
they?
very strange thing people say, because I've met a lot of our senior customers who tell me that they use it to actually manage their account, even if they don't pay it, because a lot of them have their grandchild or their child paying the bill,
Mm-hmm.
and they're able to track when that bill is paid by using My Account, because it's not you sign up for it; it's on your phone. So, and we actually, you don't have to call into my account. You don't have to call into customer service. I'm going to give you the My Account support number, because My Account actually has its own support.
Okay.
If you go to the app, you actually will see it on the landing page. But there's also, it's 285-0109. That's the mobile number. So you could call or you could WhatsApp. And there's also an email address, so myaccountsupport@lucelect.com. So one of the things that we find is that customers, when they're entering the meter number, there's a dash between the numbers. And they don't usually put in the dash. They're like, why isn't it
Mm.
going in? You have to put the
It's
number
actually a
as it.
dash, right?
So a lot of what they get are those kinds of queries.
Right.
If you're not getting your email, if you forget your password, so the Taisha and Mario are the ones who are handling that on our customer service side, and they do an amazing job of keeping customers connected to their My Account. So and we are looking to do more things with it as well. But it's the
And you
convenience of
can
it.
handle if you've got multiple accounts. You can
That's the
handle
great
that
thing
as well.
about it. Yes, because you don't need. So in the initial phases, people thought you had to do a My Account for every single account.
Mm-hmm.
But in one account, you can have your account, your father's account, your daughter's account, your business account. All of it is different. So you can just go to the specific account. Hypody is a serious advocate. We should make Hypody sell up for My Account. Hypody is like, yes,
Maybe
yes, yes,
so.
yes,
You need
yes.
him in an ad or something.
No, he seems like no. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
and it
just
just
click and you
yeah.
pay it all. The only difference is that you cannot do direct pay for a business account. So you can't use a credit or debit card for a business account. You have to use an online account. But that's the only difference. And even if some people actually don't use it to pay, they use it to monitor. So they get the notification about the amount, and they immediately go to pay it.
But in an ideal world for Lucelec, everybody will be paying on my account.
Yeah, we have over
And
30,000 customers signed up already. People use
wow,
it,
okay.
and on average,
So that's like
every
about half of your customer base.
yeah, just slightly
Yeah,
under half of that.
yeah.
On average, every month we get an average of 300 and something signups every month.
Okay.
It is a convenience of it, because if you nobody wants to take their time to go have to find parking. We're very busy people. If you want that, we will offer that through our customer service offices. But if I personally have never paid any bill on a line since I started paying bills, I just pay online.
So who really is going to be using that customer service
A lot of
place?
people.
I mean, no, I'm asking. I know, of course, the 30,000,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, what kind of services can you not do on my account, which you pretty much have to go in
Well, I
to
mean,
do?
what the My Account service does is it allows you to monitor your bill and to pay
Right.
and to monitor and check your
So it's
usage.
pretty much just bill
But
payment.
just that. So you can't apply for a new connection.
Okay.
If you want to do that, you can do it through our virtual service desk, which is also remote and on our website. So if you go to our virtual service desk, you will see all the options, all the forms. It's a new connection request. If you just purchased a home, congratulations, by the way, and you want to put in your own connection, you can do that there. If you are a tenant and you want to put your landlord, some landlords allow you to put it on your name, you can do that. You could if you're moving from one location to the next, you can request that there. If you want to request a payment arrangement for your arrays, you can do that there as well. If you think that if you want to report a damaged appliance to Lucelect, you can do that as well. So all the forms are there. And again, it's free. You can do it at your convenience. It's manned by our customer service team. We will respond immediately to help you, well, during our regular hours to assist you.
So you got my account, you got that virtual
Service desk.
desk, and you can also just call in. You have an
Yeah.
automated account
That
inquiry.
I call it the OG, the original one.
This is
Four five
the
seven.
old school
Yeah,
platform.
457-4433 is the automated account inquiry service. It's actually our most used remote option. Customers just use that to just call in to get their bill balance. All you need is your account number. Just call in, plug in your account number, and you get your bill balance. And not only do you get your bill balance, you also get the last payment we received from you. We tell you if you have a raise on your account, and if you're in danger of being disconnected, we tell you what your current balance is, what your, so all of that stuff you get one time. And you can call at any time.
So let's say I'm not home and I don't know my meter number or whatnot.
Your
Is this
account
some
number.
no my well
You
for
need
some
the
things
account
you want
number,
the
yeah.
no, but you need
You need
the-
the account number to access that service.
okay, no, that's that. But I'm just saying, like, let's say for instance, you just call in
Yes.
to that virtual desk to get your meter number? Is that
It
something
will
that
not be able to assist you if you don't have the account number, but again, you can call our trouble call operators and we'll be able to assist you.
okay? So trouble.
Now,
call.
keep in mind, our trouble call is an emergency service. So in case you have a situation with your service, or there's a fault, if a pole knocks down something or something, we call it an emergency service. But our operators are also able to assist you with these tasks as well, especially when you're calling out of our regular operating hours and nobody else can assist you.
Okay, so this is very, very useful information here. No doubt about it. It's a lot more than this new office space that you've actually just opened. And but of course, just to recap, you've opened the new office.
Yes, the office opens
It's like
on
your
Tuesday.
customer service hub for
In
cash
Castries.
trees.
And when we do our annual surveys, our Castries location is actually where we used to get the most responses. So we know that we have a lot of customers who access that office, and they've been waiting for the office to be opened. And we really appreciate their patience and their understanding, and look forward to serving them in the new location. Again, it is in Sans Souci. It is on Daisy Avenue. It is downstairs, the new Carolec building. It is right by RCI, just past the Carmen Rainey School if you get off at Serenity Park. And if you go on the Leclerc bus, you'll be able to get dropped off right in front of the building. The Leclerc bus stop guys, the Leclerc bus drivers have been the ones most anxious about the building to open, because they're like, when the building opening, when the building. So they will take you directly to the office.
But of course, you could also walk if you
You
so
could
choose.
also
I mean,
walk
it's
if
not
you
too
so
far
choose.
either.
It's not that
no,
far.
no.
But gone are the days that you're walking from Castries to San Jose, they're like right there. But if you want to, you can walk. It's a very nice walk. It's a brisk walk.
I suppose it's all about psychology and the heat. People talk about the heat in today's it is. But okay, so that's open, and of course, in addition to that, you can go online. You've got the My
Go
Account
online.
option.
We really want to encourage our customers to use the remote options. As much as we love having you in our space and you coming in to visit us and do your business there, we want to make it convenient for you to do your business. If you use our remote options, you can access all our services between My Account for pay for bill balances and to monitor your account and to pay your bill, to the virtual service desk to request all our services, including new connection requests and to make new tenant arrangements and everything else. Then you can call our 457-4433 for your bill balance at any time from anywhere. And of course, our customer service remote options, which is our 5 remote numbers, you can actually call, text, or you can email us as well at customersupport@lucelect.com.
Now, let me ask you: before somebody gets disconnected, how does that work? Do they get
Yes.
a email or something?
You get a text.
You get a
You get a
text to say that you're going to
You
get
get a
disconnected.
text to say that your account is in danger of being disconnected, and we do call as well.
Okay.
And that's why one of the things that we want to encourage customers to do is to update your customer information. Because if we can't contact you, we can't notify you. If you go to our website right now, lucelect.com, it is a big yellow button at the top of the landing page that says update your account information. Very specific. You click on there, a form comes down, very easy form. You can fill it out in literally under a minute, just to make sure that we have your latest email, your latest mobile number, and if you change your name or whatever, so we can always be able to, because one of the things that we have is that Lucelect has invested a lot in our technology. We have a scatter system and all of these things. We have customer information in our database. We know customers by location. So if you are able to have your account information updated, it means that if there's a fault in your area in time to come, and not too far from now actually, we'll be able to send you a text to let you know.
So you know beforehand
There's a
that
fault in your area.
Right.
That's why you have no power. We expect to have you back up in half an hour.
Okay.
So if you update your information, not only is it a matter of us being able to help you track and monitor your account,
But you can now
but we can also
communicate a lot better.
communicate with you and let you know that something is going on,
Mm-hmm.
and when you expect to go back up, those kinds of things. Because we are very heartened to know that customers have a good appreciation of our service standards. So when customers don't have power in their home, they always assume it's everything but Lucelec. We are very grateful for that. But the ability of technology allows you to communicate without actually having to physically be in the person's space and at their convenience, because customers, you require information to be able to do your work and live your life. So if you update your customer information, you can keep in touch with us at any time.
Okay. I was just thinking about that horror story of, somebody leaves their home at
Yes.
7 o'clock and comes back home at 5 and
And there's no
realizes that
power.
there's no power. I was just wondering, what is there an option at that point? I
Yeah,
mean,
because that was one
because
of
they
the,
got disconnected.
that's one of the main things that we work always to make our services. We want to be able to address any issues that customers have as quickly as possible. Because one of the things that we realized is back in the day when we did not have customers remotely connected to our system, it meant that, you remember the days of the meter readers. They would go to your home and disconnect you, get a pink slip. But now that most of our service is on AMI, which means it's just remote, you don't have the pink slip anymore because it's not meter readers who are doing it. It's actually done remotely from our offices. So you don't really know. That's where the text comes in. So the text lets you know that you've been disconnected. If you've been disconnected, it lets you know that you are in danger of being, so you get the alert before we actually disconnect you. You get the call to let you know that as well. And if you get home and you did not get the text because you didn't update your information, so we don't have your latest number, you didn't get the call, and it's 6 o'clock and you don't have power, you can go to ShorePay, you can pay the bill, you can call into our trouble call operator service, and we take a screenshot of the payment, because the payment itself in ShorePay has your account number, the amount. So you send that to us, we will reconnect you.
Okay, wonderful. And we've been speaking with Carmi Joseph, and she's been telling us all about Lucelec's new office at
And so many other things.
Daisy Avenue in Sans Souci. It's
Yes.
a orange and gray and
Yes.
white building,
You cannot miss
and 3 levels, and
Yes.
you're on the ground
We're on the
level,
ground level.
and there's lots of parking.
There's lots of parking.
And of
It
course,
is
the
wheelchair accessible.
I don't know what route is that 2H, the Clary bus. I don't even know what it is, but I think it's one. It's 1E.
How is Calix
I don't.
asking us
I
all
don't
three
know.
of us
No,
drive?
I sent
We
some.
don't
I think
know.
I sent somebody all the way to Viewfort there. I think
Oh
it's
my
one.
goodness.
Yeah, the 2 route is it's one.
The Leclerc bus is in the same area as the Grosley bus. Just go there and you'll find it.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. If you want to
So
take
if
the
you
bus,
want, you could just ask the Leclerc
or
bus
you could
driver
also
whether-
just
ask the Grosley bus driver whether the
or
Leclerc
take
bus stop
any
is
other
in-
bus to the
I
to the
believe it's
junction, and
by,
then
it might be in the area by in the middle there of the CDC complex, because the Grosley is opposite the Anglican
I think
school.
it's next to the Babano buses.
Opposite,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's around there.
Yes.
It's that area.
Okay, and that
So you
little
have
bus terminal
Grosley there, you have
in
Moshi
next to the
opposite
market.
Hilton. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So wonderful. So that's another option of getting there. If you must physically go into the office, of
Yes,
course.
but you don't have to. But if you want to, you can come visit.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so very much, Kami, for sharing with us this good news that it's
Thank you for having me. We are
office
very excited
is
about it.
open and is ready to serve the public. And thanks to Lucelec for that.
Yes.
Any parting words from you?
Again, we'd like to apologize to our customers for the length of time it took to reopen this new office in Sans Souci. We are very happy to welcome our customers to a Castries brick and mortar store. We can't wait to see you and to serve you. And we thank you again for your patience and all your understanding.
And hopefully even the traffic going up north will be a little bit less now,
Yes,
right?
a lot of
Because
customers are saying, no more
you've got
Rodney
to-
Bay.
Definitely. Thanks so very much, Kami, for sharing with us. And of course, that's been our dish of the day.
Thank you for having me.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Because you've unbeatable cost. Customer service, A plus. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gas and vanity. Boss, you'll see. Come down, don't mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Grosley, and Flag Street in Viewfort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home. Really? Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with the style stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up. What are you looking for? Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle. Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my number one store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for. That sounds perfect. I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation. I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and View Fort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And also, of course, on the Warport Water, it's now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bar. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east, southeast, near 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter or variable at times. The weather partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with scattered showers, which may be heavy in some areas, and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. And there is an advisory in heavy rates. Residents and motorists in areas prone to flooding and landslides are advised to be vigilant and exercise caution. The forecast for Los Angeles, partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. And the tropical weather outlook, a tropical wave moving westward near 17 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. Across the Los Angeles will produce cloudy periods with scattered showers and thunderstorms over these islands during the forecast period. Another tropical wave over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. Also, an area of low pressure is expected to form over the central tropical Atlantic in a few days. Slow development of the system is possible during the next 7 days as it moves westward to west-northwest near 13 or 20 kilometers per hour. And this was a weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bar.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Girl, I've been so stressed searching for the perfect tiles to complete my home. Really? Yeah, it's always the same white, beige, and gray tiles with the style stores. Like they're all buying from the same place. You're the design expert. Help me, please. I'm fed up. What are you looking for? Something different. Something that says Caribbean beauty and suits my personality. Something vibrant and classy with a little razzle dazzle. Okay, Ms. Razzle Dazzle, I know just the place. Island Style Tile and Bath, they're my number one store for everything tile. And with their new In Living Color collection, you'll find the most gorgeous styles to give you that splash of Caribbean flair you're looking for. That sounds perfect. I'll even take you myself and throw in a free design consultation. I'll never say no to that, sis. I can't afford you anyway.
Visit our Island Style showrooms in Castries, Rodney Bay, and View Fort, or call 450-452 or 453 Tile. We'll help bring your vision to life in living color.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And we've got about just about 22 minutes before the hour of 2 o'clock. Of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, it is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And you can also message in to our WhatsApp number if you so choose. That number is 724-0008, 724-0008. Of course, we were just speaking about the electric utility company and its opening of its new customer service branch at Sans Souci. Now, interesting enough, in that very same complex is the National Utilities Regulatory Commission, and they are responsible for regulating the water and electricity services and the telecommunications utilities. They have a separate regulatory entity known as the NTRC, the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. But the National Utilities Regulatory Commission was set up to look at management of water and as well electricity. Now, quite recently, there was some sort of a statement in circulation in social media speculating about the chief executive officer of that National Utilities Regulatory Commission. And just yesterday, well, actually, it's not yesterday, 2 days ago, the National Utilities Regulatory Commission issued a statement on the resignation of their CEO, Mrs. Alison Jha. So just wanted to quickly read that release. And it says, consequent upon totally unfounded rumors circulating on social media and elsewhere that attempt to tarnish the reputation of the NERC and its former CEO, Mrs. Alison Jha, the NERC Board of Commissioners states categorically that Mrs. Alison Jha never received from the board, neither did she ever pay herself any unauthorized increase to her monthly salary. The NERC is audited annually. The audited report is sent to the relevant responsible ministry, where it is subsequently transmitted to Parliament for tabling. At no point did the auditors intimate even a hint of fraud regarding the NERC. Mrs. Jha was employed by the Commission through a transparent recruitment process where a number of applicants were interviewed. The recruitment process was strictly in accordance with the NERC Act number 3, Section 13 of 2016, and its human resource procedures. And Mrs. Jha served the NERC extremely well, navigating a period of high cost and low revenues while building a formidable team of professionals who continue to drive the organization forward. The NERC Board of Commissioners and staff therefore reiterate our thanks to Mrs. Jha for her invaluable contribution to the NERC and wish her well in her future endeavors. Sincerely, Lawrence Nerve, Chairman, and that is coming from the National Utilities Regulatory Commission. And I think, in fact, there was an earlier statement which they, in fact, had sent out regarding the resignation of their CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Mrs. Alison Jha. And this was from the 19th of August, 2024. Mrs. Alison Jha, the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Utilities Regulatory Commission, or the NERC, has resigned from the organization effective August 6th, 2024, citing personal reasons. The Board of Commissioners has appointed Mrs. Skeeter Gibbs as acting CEO to provide stability and leadership while a permanent replacement is sought. During her tenure, Mrs. Jha served the NERC well, establishing a solid foundation on which we will continue to build. The commissioners and staff of the NERC thank Mrs. Jha for her invaluable contribution to the organization and wish her well in her future endeavors. And that too, signed by the chair, Mr. Lawrence Nerve. So those posts were shared yesterday, and so we were just sharing them as well with the listening public regarding that and clarifying some of those social media posts which were in fact circulating. Now, today, of course, as we mentioned earlier on, it's the anniversary of that very, very famous March on Washington. And it happened 61 years ago to the day. When it was led by Martin Luther King Jr. And of course, it is when he delivered his very famous I Have a Dream speech. I think we played that speech last year. And of course, it was a very, very active time for leading up to the civil rights movement and changes there. And of course, there were a number of people, not just born in America, but certainly other persons who identified with that effort. And in fact, two of them were the parents of the current Democrat nominee for the White House for the U.S. presidency. Those are the parents of Kamala Harris. And of course, Kamala has spoken quite a bit about her mother, who was Indian by birth and came to the United States to seek out a future in research biology and cancer research, and certainly her father hails from Jamaica, from the West Indies, from the Caribbean. And we haven't heard very much about him, but there's a very interesting little video which kind of gives some context to that other parent in the mix in terms of Kamala Harris. So I just wanted to share, in fact, this video about who is Kamala Harris's father. Of course, he hails from Jamaica, his name being Harris, and we can hear quite a little bit more about him at this time.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
In the recent U.S. elections, Kamala Harris became the first woman, as well as the first Black and Indian woman, to be elected Vice President of the United States. While the 56-year-old Democratic VP-elect has spoken fondly and profusely about her Indian mother, little has been said about her Black father. So who exactly is the father of America's first Black Vice President? And why have we heard so little about him? His name is Donald Jasper Harris, and he's a distinguished professor and economist from Jamaica. Harris immigrated to the United States for his studies back in the 60s, and while studying at UC Berkeley, he met Kamala's mother, Shyamala Gopalan, who also immigrated from India to the US at the age of 19 to pursue her dream of becoming a cancer biologist.
And there's another woman whose name isn't known, whose story isn't shared, another woman whose shoulders I stand on. And that's my mother, Shyamala Gopalan Harris. She came here from India at age 19 to pursue her dream of curing cancer. At the University of California, Berkeley, she met my father, Donald Harris, who had come from Jamaica to study economics. They fell in love in that most American way while marching together for justice in the civil rights movement of the 1960s. In the streets of Oakland and Berkeley, I got a stroller's eye view of people getting into what the great John Lewis called good trouble.
Indeed, Professor Harris's social justice activism is also vouched for by Ghanaian politician Dr. Kweku Safo, who was a former student at Stanford University, where Harris had been appointed tenured professor in 1972, 3 years after graduating from the University of California. In a statement submitted to Face to Face Africa, Dr. Safo describes Harris as a Pan-African intellectual who often attended African Students Association events, where Dr. Safo served as president. At Stanford, he was a leader in developing the new program in alternative approaches to economic analysis as a field of graduate study. The interest in Africa and the relationship with Africans at Stanford brought Harris into a strong friendship with the famed Ghanaian professor of economics, the late Tete Kofi. Postdoctoral research for Harris was a concentration on capital accumulation, income distribution, and uneven development, starting from the University of Illinois and then to Stanford, where he was the first Black economics professor to receive tenure in 1972. He was once referred to as a Marxist scholar whose challenge of neoclassical economics unsettled many at the revered institution. Now 82, Harris has been retired from teaching since 1998, but it is intriguing to mention that he would have shared the economic ideals of his daughter's colleague in the U.S. Senate, Bernie Sanders, rather than Kamala's own brand of progressivism. Nonetheless, the professor approached his social justice activism with the open palms policy intellectual honesty would require. In a 2018 piece titled Reflections of a Jamaican Father, Professor Harris revealed that his paternal grandmother's ancestor was Hamilton Brown, a patriarch who's on record as a plantation and slave owner. That aspect of a family's history would have been difficult for many to disclose. The complex moral and political aftermaths of European slavery often drive perceived offenders and offended to seek refuge. But here was a man, an incurable academic, divulging a niggling bit of his own identity for the sake of scholarship and society. Perhaps this was why he was unforgiven when his daughter played to the gallery, appearing on the Breakfast Club and making a joke about pot and Jamaicans.
They say you oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
And look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
And I
inhale.
inhale. I did inhale.
Okay.
He issued a statement saying, "My dear departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent essay on this website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker and in the pursuit of identity politics."
What a blast at his daughter who wants to be the next president.
No kidding. He added, and he had sent this statement to Jamaica Global Online. He said, "Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty."
The inside story as to why Professor Harris remains a footnote in his daughter's publicly told story cannot be pinned down to the differences in political and social philosophies. We can acknowledge that Kamala's mother was the parents the 5-year-old girl grew up with after her parents split in 1971.
When I was 5, my parents split, and my mother raised us mostly on her own. Like so many mothers, she worked around the clock to make it work, packing lunches before we woke up and paying bills after we went to bed, helping us with homework at the kitchen table and shuttling us to church for choir practice. She made it look easy, though it never was.
Shaimala Gopalan, who is now deceased, was also an academic, just like her former husband. Gopalan's values became Kamala's, and she has been abundantly cited as the most profound reason for her daughter's success.
My mother instilled in my sister Maya and me the values that would chart the course of our lives. She raised us to be proud, strong Black women, and she raised us to know and be proud of our Indian heritage.
However, Harris writes in his 2018 piece that even after a bitter divorce, he persisted, never giving up on his love for his children or reneging on his responsibilities as their father, describing the end of his marriage as abrupt and the subsequent battle for the custody of the kids hard-fought. He also rued not being a part of the journey as Kamala and Sister Maya became respectable lawyers and significant national voices. But Harris has been supportive of Kamala's success as a senator, and there's reason to believe he will be heard now that she's on her way to becoming one of the most influential people in the world. Perhaps his qualms with her could be forgiving in light of her new status. When outsiders try to make sense of the relationship between this daughter and her estranged father, all missing links constitute the responsibility of the lead characters to provide. But so far, the absence of a perfect picture has not been hurtful to each other's public profiles.
All right, and of course, that just gives some context to the gentleman who is, in fact, the father of Kamala Harris, of Jamaican heritage. And of course, as a result of separation, we haven't heard very much about him. But of course, he still is alive. He's the living parent of Kamala Harris, and just thought it might be useful to share that aspect of it. Of course, given her pretty interesting heritage with both her parents not being born in the United States, in fact. And so that certainly is a very telling story in terms of her own, perhaps, appreciation of the importance of embracing diversity and immigration, which of course has been a major issue in the United States for quite some time. Now, shifting gears to some local information and local news. Quite recently, the government of St. Lucia responded to the cries for assistance regarding the Owen King EU Hospital. And you would recall that letter, which was apparently sent to the heads at the Owen King EU Hospital Millennium Heights Medical Complex from the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association. It caused a bit of a political furor and lots of statements being made. And the government, in fact, responding by providing an $11 million injection into the Owen King EU Hospital to deal with it's effectively what it seems to be a backlog of debts which it has accumulated over the years. And the reason why that is a challenge is that invariably institutions, large institutions like the Owen King EU Hospital, like Millennium Heights, they will be dealing with suppliers who will sometimes provide credit on the basis, of course, that they will eventually be paid. And of course, when your credit lines run out or you end up with bad debts, it's going to be a major problem. And so sometimes these suppliers will perhaps not want to do any business with you if they know that it's going to take quite a while to actually receive their payments. And so this $11 million injection is really to try to deal with some of this backlog of bad debt, which in fact had accumulated for the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. Let's take a listen to this piece coming out of the Ministry of Health here in St. Lucia.
The government of St. Lucia presented a substantial monetary allocation of $11 million to the Millennium Heights Medical Complex and Owen King EU Hospital Board on Friday, August 23, 2024. The funds, sourced from revenue generated through the Citizenship by Investment Program and the government treasury, aim to address pressing financial challenges and clear outstanding debts within the healthcare institutions. The Millennium Heights Medical Complex, which includes the Owen King EU Hospital, the National Mental Wellness Center, and the Turning Point Rehabilitation Center, has been a cornerstone of healthcare delivery in St. Lucia. However, in recent years, the complex has faced financial difficulties that have impacted its ability to deliver optimal services. The government's timely intervention is expected to alleviate these challenges, ensuring that the complex can continue to provide quality healthcare to the people of St. Lucia.
About 4 weeks ago, the board was invited to a cabinet meeting to discuss the question of financing for the Millennium Heights Medical Complex. After the delivery of a passionate presentation and plea, the Prime Minister, recognizing the seriousness of the issues presented, instructed the Department of Finance to meet with the Millennium Heights Medical Complex personnel to craft a remedial action plan. During these discussions, the expenditure and financial profiles of the complex were validated and a plan was devised for redress. Today, we are witnessing one of the outcomes of these meetings.
The Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jabaptist, emphasized that numerous discussions have taken place over the past few years, with the challenges faced by the island's medical professionals being a top priority.
I wish to say to you that the financing of healthcare is foremost in our deliberations every time we meet in cabinet. The crux of the matter, as many people say, is the financing. Others will tell you, even though you have the financing and the management style, the management does not match the finances, you still have a problem. But what I want to say to you is that this government is adamant we are resolute that even though the road to progress may find potholes occasionally, and even though we find mountains and hills that we must traverse, we will continue to focus on providing better health care for the people of St. Lucia. That is our focus.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre reiterated his government's commitments to ongoing support for the healthcare sector, recognizing its pivotal role in the country's overall development.
I want to allow the Ministry of Health a free hand, and they now must be accountable. They now must be accountable. And I'm going to demand accountability, both from the Ministry of Health and from the OKU. Because what we invest in is taxpayers' money. So we're going to demand accountability. So, very shortly, I'm going to reveal to the country how we're going to hopefully, permanently, solve the financial issues that relate to healthcare in St. Lucia.
As St. Lucia continues to navigate the complexities of healthcare delivery in a post-pandemic world, this monetary contribution serves as a crucial step in ensuring that the Millennium Heights Medical Complex remains a beacon of hope and care for the nation. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I am Onika McCoy.
All right, and that piece coming from the Ministry of Health. Of course, as mentioned, that response came within the context of what clearly seemed to become a very untenable situation at the OKEU, in particular in terms of the issue of supplies of different services and different goods that would be required for treatment at that facility. And so, of course, the hope, of course, is that this, in fact, will result in improvement in terms of the quality of care with respect to that facility, which, of course, is the primary healthcare, well, the principal healthcare facility for the island, general facility for the island. The funds coming from the Citizenship by Investment Program, interesting enough, very strangely enough, I heard some individuals criticizing that the funds should not come from CIP for some very strange reason. I'm not too sure the logic involved there, of course, but clearly the need to see that, look, there's a clear crisis with respect to dealing with the debts. And one would suspect that a lot of these debts may very well have built up over the years as a result of dealing with COVID-19 and many other of these issues, and the need to be able to overcome that. Now, healthcare financing, of course, has been a major issue, and as with many areas, it is in fact experiencing upward pressures as prices of goods and services are increasing, and so therefore one has to find the means to be able to pay off. Now, unfortunately, quite often those budgets that are provided to institutions like St. Jude Hospital, like the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, have not really been increasing as fast enough as perhaps they need to, and sometimes you end up with situations where you've got gaps, and those debts begin to accrue, and that's where you've got problems. And so certainly, let's hope that there can in fact be, as the Prime Minister has been mentioning, some long-term redress in terms of how the healthcare is in fact financed. We've heard certain pronouncements regarding the health and safety levy, health and security levy, and of course how to tackle universal healthcare. But certainly it's going to require a tremendous amount of resources to be able to keep up with what you find as these increasing demand on the healthcare system. And especially so if you're imagining that you're dealing with more violent crimes, or you're dealing with more violent acts, or acts that like major accidents, for instance, which will then end up sending more people into those healthcare facilities, demanding, of course, more resources. That does have a knock-on impact on the ability of those institutions to be able to actually manage and provide quality care. But we'll have to speak to that perhaps a little bit more later on in the week because we're already out of time here on the lunchroom for our program this Wednesday. We do hope that everybody has a good day, of course, and I'm your host, Calix George Jr., saying goodbye.